Hello everyone, welcome to the Communication of Success, a channel dedicated to your success in the workplace. This channel provides you with out-of-the-box solutions to workplace issues. I am Mishkat, your educator and communicator, accompanying you on this journey to success. What are we talking about today? The four thieves. There are four thieves in the workplace that are trying to rob you of your success. Well, not on my watch. I'm here to help you stand up to each and every one of them. What I'm talking about? The most common types of bullies in the workplace. Yes, there are bullies in the workplace, not only in schools. So let's get started. What is the first type of bully? Easy. The screamer. So the screamer, or as Dr. Gary Namey calls him or her, is the screamy Mimi. The person who screams at you, who tries to use their voice against you. So you are working hard on your report, you decided to check with the person who requested it, whether your supervisor, whether it's co-worker, and you are taken by surprise that this person starts to scream at you out of the blue. I don't accept this. This is not my standard. You don't know what you are talking about. In a very loud tone. So what to do? Tip number 1, keep calm. The screamer is trying to rob you out of your power, out of your success by getting under your skin through screaming. So keep calm. Let them finish screaming and simply look them in the eye and say, I heard you. You don't need to scream. I have excellent hearing, so I can hear you. Now, this scenario, the screaming, oftentimes occurs in the hallway, in the corridor, where everyone can listen. Why is that? Because the screamer is trying to intimidate everyone and signal to them, if you don't cooperate with me, if you don't do as I want, I'm gonna scream at you as well. So usually the workforce will be paralyzed. They are afraid to do anything because they will be screamed at. But if they see you managing the screamer well, then they will know that they can follow you instead. You see, so the first step to deal with the screamer is to keep calm. Take the power out of them. All they have against you as a weapon is their voice. Don't let it happen by keeping calm. Raise the issue in staff meetings. So oftentimes there is a kind of a social, or I call it professional stigma associated with being bullied. The person who's being bullied, the victim or the target, feels ashamed. They don't want to talk about this issue. So what they do is that they keep it to themselves. Remember this, if you keep it to yourself, you are empowering the bully. So don't do it. Take every opportunity to mention it. The other day I was talking to Jeffrey and he started screaming at me. Why is that, Jeffrey? You see, I raised it in a professional way, a kind of even a funny way, to signal to the company that there is screaming in it and it's not acceptable because it's not professional. So talk about it and call the bully out on it. The second type of bullies that we have is the constant critic, the one that is not satisfied, the one that finds fault with every single thing. So what to do with that one? Trap them. If you are submitting a report to the constant critic, devise a little trap for him or her in the report. What do I mean by that? While you are writing, make something or write something that will attract their attention, that they will leave everything in the report or the majority of the report and focus on that little thing. Once they do, be ready for the rebuttal. Oh, that? I have this extra piece of information ready for you. I developed this chart ready for you. Have you seen the organizational chart that I developed for that part? Here it is. Diffuse them. Take them in a little journey towards something you are strong at. So as when they criticize you on that part, you are ready. Also, you are the authority on this part. So with the constant critic, you have to get ahead. The other thing that you can do with the constant critic is this. Oh, I know you would say that, because everyone say that you criticize everything. You are hard to please, aren't you? Rub it in their face. If they are not called out on it, if their behavior is received with silence, with acceptance, they will keep doing it. One victim of bullying reported that it took her 3 years to report the bully that was tormenting her. The bully screamed at her, the bully criticized her work, the bully treated her like she didn't matter. And it took her 3 years to recognize that. It is very important for you to recognize when you are being bullied. Sometimes it's difficult to recognize or to even admit that you are being bullied. Oh, it's Jeffrey. He treats everyone like that, as if it is acceptable. Oh, maybe he had a bad day. Oh, perhaps it's me. Maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I don't know how to do my work. Even if this is the case, let's say even if there is a skill that you don't know how to do it, you are being bullied when this issue becomes personal. So let's say you have a tough boss who's trying to push you. Fine. But are they making it personal? You have a colleague who has a high standard and he's assigned as your mentor. Absolutely wonderful. But is she trying to make it personal? So when it becomes personal, not professional, then you are being bullied. It's very important to recognize that so as you will prepare for it. If you treat it as an incident or if you treat it as something you deserve, just like an abusive relation, oh, maybe I did something wrong to upset him or her. It's not that. You have to admit that you are being bullied so as you can defend yourself. It's something that you sometimes don't recognize, or sometimes you go through it thinking you have a mean boss or a mean colleague. In reality, you are being bullied. So these are your 2 thieves. We still have 2 to go. So the third type of bully is the double-headed snake. No, I'm not talking about a mythical creature, I wish. And between you and I'm a big fan of mythical creatures. That's why I read Percy Jackson. Anyway, the double-headed snake is a person who would smile at your face, praise your work, sympathize with what you are going through, just to stab you and criticize you when it matters. You see, that's the danger of the 2-headed snake. They try to weasel their way into your professional area, into your office, just to find an opportunity to stab you in the back. Early signs of 2-headed snakes. They are early huggers. They like to, check you out, so to speak, to find an area where they can, stab you. The other sign is that they like to straighten out your clothes. So while you are talking to them, they kind of adjust your jacket, adjust your tie, maybe your brooch is out of place and they try to arrange it for you because they are trying to weasel their way in. So how to deal with those? Identifying them early on is important. That's why, you need to identify or to acknowledge the fact that you are being bullied. Tip number 1, feed them the wrong information. If you are required to write a report, submit the report to your supervisor. Make sure that the supervisor actually received it. So an acknowledgement is important here. Then have a conversation with the 2-headed snake and tell him or her I missed the deadline. I couldn't submit to my supervisor. Then, when that double-headed snake goes and shares the information, of course it is untrue, and when asked, you can simply say, here's the proof, I submitted it. In public meetings, especially staff meetings, mention it. You know, it's really unfortunate that some of us are trying to go around and say that people are missing their deadlines when in fact people are submitting and they are actually ahead of the deadline. Exposing or discrediting the double-headed snake is very important. You see, again, the more you keep quiet about it, the more power you give to the bully. Last but not least, we have the gatekeeper. So basically, that person is in charge of resources, and resources will be given to everyone except you. By resources, I mean trainings and opportunities. What to do in this situation? Stay ahead of the game. Always seek resources within your organization or outside your organization. Any resource that you need to hone your professional skills, use it. Don't wait until you are in need of the information, of the training to get it. That is too late. Always be ahead of the game. Let's say the bully assigned you task outside of your job requirement and somehow made it your responsibility. It is your new responsibility to develop this training, to make this curriculum or report. Absolutely fine. Seek the information needed from people who have it. If there is a person who's known to offer this training, who has information about this task, ask them. Again, getting ahead is very important with this type of bullying. You have to anticipate what is coming so as you will not be taken by surprise. You know, they say Rome was a great nation simply because they anticipated the problem before it occurred. Do the same. Be a great employee by anticipating ahead of time. Also, having kind of a support group. If I need X, who can I go to? If I need Y, who can I go to? If you have wide network or reasonable network of expert of people in your company who are willing to support you, then even with that ridiculous deadline, you can still make it. Now, here's the most important thing. If you submit that report meeting that unrealistic time, it doesn't mean that it ends here. Be prepared for another unrealistic deadline. So what to do? Expose, expose, expose. The other day, Jeffrey gave me 3 days to finish 100-page report about this new field that was attached to us. Are we all required to talk about that topic or write report about that topic? How about everyone else? Did you get 3 days or did you get 7 days? The minute you talk about it, the minute it becomes public, the minute the bully will think twice about targeting you again. You have to line up your defenses, so to speak. And never ever, when dealing with bullies, put all of your eggs in one basket, meaning you depend upon one strategy, which is reporting him or her. Reporting the bully is absolutely fine. The thing is, you need to identify what policy they violated. You also have to submit proof. It's true, documenting is proof. When you document, it's powerful proof. But still, oftentimes, if it happens in one-on-one meeting behind closed doors, it turns out to be he said, she said. So you have to be prepared to defend yourself and not rely upon one single strategy. You have Achilles' heels, I'm telling you. And again, now you know that I like mythical creature and I'm a big fan of Greek mythology. Your Achilles' heel. When you are back to work because you've injured yourself, because you get married, because you were on your honeymoon. Time, vulnerability. So oftentimes you are back from your vacation, you are back from, hospital, this is your first day at work, and boom, here comes the bully. What to do in this scenario? The most important thing, signal fake vulnerabilities. Always signal fake vulnerabilities. So this way, when you are being targeted, you are not actually vulnerable. This is tip number 1. If you can do it in this case, then that would be great. What if you cannot do it? What if it's really your first day back out of being in the hospital, or because you were, enjoying your honeymoon? What to do in this scenario? Prepare. Preparation is key. Don't go to the workplace expecting the best. Don't go to the workplace saying, oh, it's fantastic, I'm gonna have a wonderful day. Especially if you know the bully is there. Go prepared. How to go prepared? Try to stay on top of your emails. This is very important. So as you know what is going on in the workplace, and you don't need to catch up. You don't need to answer them, but you need to take a look at them. If you can't, call on colleagues. During your honeymoon, if you are in a hospital and you feel comfortable talking, call on colleagues and ask about what is going on in the workplace. Stay informed. When you go to the workplace and here comes the bully tasking you with ridiculous tasks, ask for time. Make sure to give yourself more time than needed. If not, if you ask for time and you were denied, try to get a doctor's order. Try to get some support from supervisor, from someone in the workplace who can help you. If that's not an option, try to find someone who will help you complete the task. Don't deny work. Embrace collaborative work. If the job that you are assigned to require 2 to 3 people to do it, then you need 2 to 3 people to do it. There is also no need to wait until someone is coming back to work from sick leave or coming back to work from vacation to task them. You don't need to delay tasking. That's the important point to highlight here. You see, somehow we are using the public to our benefit. Just like the bully is trying to use the public, the people, to paralyze the workplace, we are using the public to engage in our workplace. You see, no one wants to be back from their sick leave or their vacation just to be tasked. It shows that someone waited until this person is back to task them. So this is not professional. If this report is so urgent, if this task was needed badly, then there should have some step taken. There should have been some steps taken. There should be a task force. There should be people working on it. But the fact that they waited until you are coming to work and this is your first day to task you, it is bad management. So always expose, expose, expose. And again, when exposing, you have to be really quick about it. Quick on your feet. You have to know how to use good comeback. You have to know how to frame your point or your argument very well so it will not backfire at you. If you need to explore these tips further, you can visit my website, the languageofsuccess.net, to get more insight about how to use witty retorts to your advantage. I hope these tips were helpful to you. If so, please hit the like button. Share the video with someone who's being bullied at their workplace so as they can stand up for themselves. And subscribe to my channel so that you get my content right out when it gets posted.